Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus and this is Factorio. We are on episode 19 of my Let's Just Play Factorio series. We've basically established our starting bus system. Eventually we'll be establishing proper protective walls, but at the moment we don't really need them. And we're just penning ourselves in if we do. I also told you about how I'm going to structure everything over here. So basically science is going to be... I don't think we started a new science, did we? I should have done. I think I selected it, but I don't think I actually started it. So it needs advanced material processing so that we can get the purple science and I can build all of that stuff up. Okay, so what we're actually going to do in this episode, because we need this system to fill out, we could add some more power production just quickly, and that'll give me a chance to think about what I actually want to do. So how many solar panels extra have I got in? So these are filled up, so I can take all of these. Actually, I might as well just grab them by hand. Ah, looks like this is finished as well. Bing, bing, bong. So purple science. So let's do the personal ones, because I'll be like handcrafting them anyway. Oh, you need low density structures nowadays, don't you? But then we'll have built up quite a lot of those, I think, now. Are we done? Oh no, two more. Plop them in. Cool. So what I can do, as I say, is I can put some of these down here, you see. And oops, personal laser. We'll do just archer finch, but it's rubbish. But we'll just do it basically anyway. So what we do is we put a requester, and we put a passive provider, and we want to. Oops, nearly blew it up then with a grenade. And that way around, and that way around. Put a limit on of, say, let's do a stack. And we want to do... Oh, I can't make them yet. When can I make them? Military 4. No. Oh, over there. Blimey. Oh, there's no point in doing that then. Because that requires 1,000 gold, and we've not stacked up 1,000 gold. Oh well. That was a bit pointless. I think that's one of the changes they've made with the... So I've got 21 U235s now. So about halfway before we can start really cranking out stuff with Coverax. And these are nowhere near full, so we'll get the 40 fairly soon. Once you've got it's best to do it with slightly over 40, but once you've got 40 you can, say, create a sort of self-sustaining, loop, essentially, that you can use to just, make more and more of the good stuff. I know what I could do. I could create my blueprints at the very least for electric furnaces. And in fact, could we start building electric furnaces? That might be one I can use the requesting chest on. So what do we need for them? We need stone bricks, advanced circuits and steel plate, and those are all available in requesting system, in the logistics system rather, requesting system. So if I build a couple of, I haven't made any, have I got that right? Yeah, there we go. I haven't made any substations yet. That'll take ages before that's ready. Okay, so let's just do it with normal power then. Okay, so right now, no, actually, let's do it like I did at the top there. And we want a requester, and Asset provider. We want to make furnaces. You can actually paste the recipe into a requester. So the assembly machine is now requires items, and if you paste the recipe in, yeah, so I pasted in that there, and it puts that in automatically. It comes up with some funny numbers sometimes though, so I usually just sort of round it off, but it's a bit easier than sort of doing it yourself basically. But so I usually round, actually I'll take that down to 100, don't need to overload it. So yeah, oops, that's that done. Should we do explosive rocketry and combat robotics just to finish things off really? We'll do robot fuel, rocket fuel as well. Yeah, it's just finish these off really, because we're then at the point where we need, unless these lead to more researches, do they? They do, but they require high tech and production, so that's fine. So if I just sort of do these so that they're done really. That and that, and then that and that. And we want a couple of stacks maybe. And they'll get filled up. What I can do, I can just take a couple just to make some blueprints basically. So I'm not entirely sure exactly where I'm going to place these, but I'll build the blueprints anyway, because all I have to do is essentially upgrade our previous blueprints. So this one, bots can fill it out for us. Okay, and what we do is we take that and we... Oh, it's in the way, okay. So I can just plot that over the top. Eventually I'll probably beacon them, but I probably won't bother at the moment. And is that right, or is it? How do I normally do it? Yeah. If I take that out, clear it, and do it. So if I put on there, yeah, and then that's right, isn't it? Yeah, it's obviously not got all the stuff it needs. And then steel. So actually it's going to be a bit of a different design, I think, isn't it? It's a lot easier usually with steel to do and for electric furnaces not to use this approach of direct feed, because when we get beacons in, all the ratios will go to pot. But we'll do it for now as well. Combat robotics is done. So let's do rocket fuel. And oh no, that's not right, is it? Because that will be coming in. Or rather, it won't be coming in. So to oops. No, that'll be the going out lane, won't it? Oops. So this is the steel one for now. I don't think I'll be keeping this as such. So if I get rid of that, does that work? So those are my blueprints for iron and steel. Oh, well, copper and, you know, bricks as well. What I want to do is have my signs here. To do that, I need lanes coming this way. So if we copy and paste that, take it up here-ish. Actually, I'll turn them off. Get my regular bots to do that business. The idea is that the balancers would go there. And yeah, so that's power coming this way. So our first labs are probably going to be, or rather our lab lines are going to end up sort of actually, I don't need to bother about balances for that bit, do I? I think I said before, this is one of the bits of the game I enjoy the most, is the designing the sort of structures anew, but you know, it's not quick. It's a lot quicker if you've, you know, built yourself or created yourself some standard blueprints that you always use. But say I tend to prefer doing it this way. So if these come up here, something like this. But actually I can't do that, can I? Because I need to build some more labs. I can't have all four coming through like that. We can. I can underground it. Am I going to do daisy chaining labs, or am I going to do belting? One of the things we want to beacon almost straight away is labs, because the benefits are huge. So if I ended up with, you know, a lab there, excuse me, and then I should build some substations actually. I expect I'm confusing the bots no end, because I'm kind of wandering in and out of the request area. So they'll be trying to bring me stuff. Okay, so if that ends up being... What I'm wondering about basically is, because I could feed these in, right? I could have a lab here, right? Or, I don't know, here or something. And essentially feed it all into the one lab. Yeah, so you can have, you know, that. Oh, that's wrong. What have I done there? So it needs to be like that, does it? Yeah. I can have, you know, that there. And then, I mean, these could be further up, you know, like that. And then you have, you know, labs, say off the side there, and you sort of daisy chain them in, basically. You know, that would be like that, basically. But there's a limit to how much you can do that, because eventually they burn through the science packs so quickly that they can't they effectively, these labs become sort of redundant. They don't do any research because science packs are transferring out of them so quickly. And there are always some ways around that, but there is a sort of a limit you get to. But also this sort of design, it's not very good for beaconing. Do I have any beacons? Have I made any beacons? I don't think I've made any beacons. I don't think I've done the research, have I? Effect transmission is the research, and I'm pretty sure I haven't done it. But you can put loads of beacons around these. You can put like 12 beacons. I don't know that we want to do that initially. What I might do is I might do a sort of a hybrid of those two. And if I underground like that, then we can have labs essentially there. And doing something like that. And then daisy chain a couple up here. But then have more labs taken from belts. Probably want fast inserters rather than like that, you see. Yeah, because what we'll end up with, so that'll be sort of red, green, blue, military, purple and gold, and then this is just white science. So well, they might not, actually probably not sensible to do them in that order. Probably white in there. So if we have our rocketry here, because that allows us, we can expand a bit further up here, as well as going almost infinitely, not infinitely, but a long way out there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it that way. Also lets me put some turrets in as well, and power them quite easily. Oh, yeah. Light now. So if we put, say, laser turret there, regular turret there, do an alternates maybe. So if we put in 8 labs here, see what this looks like. So I don't really need to do that. Cool. Okay, so then rocket silo stuff will be here. Yeah. And we'll probably need to bring, therefore, some other stuff down the line. Rocket parts and stuff. May do it with bots, but it'll probably end up being things. But what we'll do is we'll leave 2 of these sort of sectors, because I'll probably end up with a load of storage chests over here as well. So then, right, red science production needs to be here, basically. So red science will eventually be, say, coming down here. So if what do I need for red science? I've completely forgotten. Copper plate and an iron gear wheel. Some people put, I think I mentioned this before, some people like to put iron gear wheels on the bus, and that's perfectly sensible to do because it's like doubling your capacity. Ish. Because they stack to 200, you see. So it's like No, not they take to 200. They take 2 iron plates. Yeah, so we've got an entire single belt of iron plate. That's half a belt of iron gear wheels. So in other words, if you want to do a full belt of iron gear wheels, you need two of these. So you might as well produce them offline and sort of save yourself some space effectively. Okay, so what will it actually do? So green will become... Am I doing it this way around? So it's probably more sensible if that is space science. Stops me having to cross streams, basically. So I can take these up. Don't need them. So instead we will have red science here somewhere. I need to think of how I'm going to position it all the time. So I want a bit of space between them. So if that is our red science there, how far up do I want it? I want it that far. I think. Give myself a little bit of room. So this would be the so are we in this doing? Oh, that's annoying. Okay, if it's one further down, it matches. So where's that then? If that's like that, that's like that. Alright, so if I line it up with that. Okay. Let's just pick that up. Okay, so. And then, as noted, it needs to be there. So if this is red science, what it needs to have coming in, the sort of feed in line, and the feed out line. Oops. Okay, so the way we do this basically is, so for example, copper. I mean, it's going to end up a little bit ugly, bit sort of pastery, bit sort of what's the phrase? Spaghetti belts. But basically, what we do, you see, we could do it. I mean, we could do it actually both ways. That'd look a bit tidier actually as well. But basically, oh, actually, I want that one further up. Is that right? So we have, if that's copper coming up there, yeah, there we go. So that would be the one there. And then this is the opposite way around. Could do that, couldn't I? But that works a bit better. So in this case, actually, what I want to happen is for the copper to go on one side of the belt. That creates a weird Escher loop there, doesn't it? Because that's on top of that, and that's on top of that, but that's on top of that. That's mentally a bit weird, that. But basically, so this is like the standard way, essentially, that I'll be building all of my layouts, essentially. So, okay, so the idea That's in, isn't it? Yeah. And then... Oops. No, that's wrong. What have I done there? And that's out. Oh, right, that's better. Okay, so that wants to be out, out, that's out. And basically, so when you're taking things off the bus, we'll be doing one of these things. These lines will be balancing before we, put them back on, basically. The idea of this is that it then gives even draw. So, as I say, as I mentioned before, this is our first copper line. So it'll be coming off here, right? I need to build all of the stuff to make, I need to build all of my smelteries and all that sort of stuff, and start training materials in. Maybe do a second line or something. Actually, that's a point. Where is our best? It says good iron ore here, but it's got biters right by it. There's one there. I could temporarily drag that in. But what about copper? Maybe I'll establish a second rail thing there, just so that we can get it up and running. Because that's still got 5.5 million copper in it there. How's this one doing? Yeah, it's 2 million. Just so I can build up this smeltery, which will probably extend all the way up to there actually, and then we can start thinking about a main line, a lot later on. Okay, but yeah, so this is the way I construct these, and basically the idea is that you sort of back to back the materials. So we've obviously got copper, and I put that on the right side of the belt. Okay, so that we can then have the left hand side be gear wheels. Okay, and we can build the gear wheels basically next door. Now we want to leave a bit of a gap because we're going to end up putting beacons in, and you can get a double effect from them then basically. Is that the right gap? I could shoot myself in the foot doing the wrong gaps here. We don't actually need that much iron gear wheel production, as we sort of established previously. So I could have punted this down a bit, couldn't I? So it's less badly aligned there. I'll do the maths in a moment. I don't think I actually even need 4, do I? Just do gear wheels. But the same idea again. So because we're going to be, we don't want to sort of cross streams too much. This is where we start to try and avoid spaghetti. But basically, we therefore have iron ore coming up, iron plates coming in there, and gear wheels coming out there. So it's all nice and tidy, essentially. We want to keep using balancers, like so. And there, and of course this time it's coming off directly. And I'll just show you. So how we're actually going to do these is that it'll have priority splitting to the right, so it pushes the material down basically. Oops. Yeah, so it forces the material onto the right hand side and then uses it. You can do it the other way around. You can take it off and then push all the material up. It's the same net difference really. Yeah, so that'll be iron. So iron wants to be coming in here and going out there. As I say, I don't know how much. Let's do the math. So what I'm aiming for now is doubling the science production essentially. So where we had 5, so these take 5 seconds. each, so you have 5 machines so that you produce 1 a second. So we now want 10 machines to produce 2 a second. Okay, it's partly because the recipes are all ramping up in demand, so you need a lot more. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we don't actually need this last row. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now again, each one requires 1 iron gear wheel, but an iron gear wheel only takes half a second to make. So we only need half as many. Well, it takes half a second to make, and we have a demand of 2 a second. So actually we need the maths has gone nuts in my head. Sorry. So I'm producing I need 1. I need 2 a second, don't I? Yeah, because I need 2 a second, and 1 machine produces 2 a second, so I literally only need 1 machine. I'll do 2, mainly to keep the sort of pattern even, really. But yeah, so that will supply all of these. Now what will happen here, because I mean I'm putting it on both sides of the belt, but of course this here would only dump it on one side of the belt, and that's one of the reasons I've got a balancer here to sort of spread the load a bit, really. You don't really have to do that, but I like to do it. The other thing I need to think about is defences. Obviously I'm defending my main bus production. I also need to defend my individual items. It's really just backup defence, so it doesn't need to be particularly dense. Also I need to be putting these on to extend our robot network, logging network. I quite like trying to maintain this square sort of network of roboports, but it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, we need some defences. So that's red. Are we going to do green this episode as well? Might as well. This is more just showing you the pattern. Obviously I need to set up the smelting, but we'll do that next episode. Could get some lights in here as well, actually. Cool. So similar sort of idea, really. And with green signs, what do you need? You need transport belts and inserters. So I only need 2 items. Oops. But we're going to need more machines because they take 6 sections each, so we're going to need 12 machines. And same sort of idea. Up on that side. Down on that side. So here, what we actually want to do is put the stuff on that side of the belt. So we need another balancer as well, don't we? There. Cool. And this is going to be incoming material. And last one. And this time we actually want to build some proper machines. Did I leave a 2 gap there? It was a 2 gap, wasn't it? Didn't leave a 2 gap there, I left a 1.5 gap. Oh well. So 2 gap. Now we can be a bit clever here in that we've got the same sort of thing going on in that we need 2 a second, but the items themselves are produced at in half-second intervals. So it only takes a half second to produce an inserter, and it only takes half a second to craft 2 transport belts. So actually, that's a quarter of a second each. So we only really need 1 machine making each. But again, we'll double it up just to be a bit safer. But what we can do, we can put them on alternate sides to start with. In fact, that's what we did at the top, I think, didn't we? What we did over here? Did we? Yeah, so we'll produce them on both sides. The slight difference with that is that both require common ingredients, apart from that requires green inserters. So what I can do is I can have belts here. So this is the out. And then I can have in here. Okay. So the only thing I've not done is to follow a robot count, but in order to do the full, the 100% all science done, is basically you have to do them up to the point where they start becoming infinite researches. So when they start needing space science, that counts as you having finished all of the researches. So, you have to do the first 6 basically on this, even if you're not going to use robots like I'm not. But we'll leave that. Basically our science will go dormant for quite a while now. Which is fine. I mean, let's it produce all the stuff we're going to need, and also eases off on our pollution issues. So what we will have is the output there, and the input there. And this is going to be transport belt. Might end up having to weave this round a little bit, but that's fine. But what's going to happen is that this is going to be iron plate, and so that's going to be iron plate coming in. Is that aligned right? It's not aligned right, is it? No, it needs to be one further over. So this will be and I can actually get rid of this here. And this will be iron plate coming off as iron plate. Going up. Oh no, I needed to do the side loading again, didn't I? So iron plate will be going up that side, and we want gears coming in, so this will be inserters, and we want that popping in there, that, like that. So again, we want to leave a 2 gap, and we're going to need a few gears. Because we're going to be making, what does this require? So this requires, the speeds are the same, isn't it? That requires 1 and that requires 1. So we need 2. But we've got double that So we need 4. We do need 4 then. Okay. So what we need is something to come up the back here. So that's too long, isn't it, for a yellow? So I will underground that. So that's going to be in the wrong place, basically. So I can, before or after? After's probably better. So this is going to be the green. So actually, given I'm putting that up there, I could just plop this in here, really, rather than do all this double thing. So yeah, so that'll be green circuits come in there. Iron going up there again, that's iron, and that's cogs. And if we, for example, want to, you know, sort of double science again, you know, we've got room to expand everything, basically. So you see how this is, you know, I mean, this mini-map version is slightly off, sort of thing. So I've ended up, that's actually red science there, isn't it? It gives you the basic idea. That's green there. So that's basically how we're going to do it. But what I actually have to do, and this will be next episode, is set up the actual smelting to actually feed the materials into this system. So to do that, we should order some. That's beacons there. We should order some electric furnaces. Okay. Well, hopefully has made some sense this episode. As I mentioned, this is kind of the stuff in the game I enjoy the most, the sort of designing side of it. I use the same sorts of principles, but I always do it individually each time. But whether that makes good video footage to watch, I don't know. I'll have to see in the edit. But yeah, anyway, if you've been watching and you've enjoyed the episode, then I hope you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching. Cheers.